Hey, what's up? I'm Kyle, and I'm going to be reviewing Bryson Blocker's Airbnb Academy, Airbnb Breakdown Academy. So Airbnb, great business model. It's getting a little bit more difficult these days because there's so many cities that are, putting a lot of regulations onto it. But it doesn't mean it's a dead business model. It just means it's going to get a bit more competitive and a bit more complex. The people who really know their shit are the ones who are going to survive. And when you own all that real estate, there's always an opportunity to make a return, even if you do get blocked out of the market you're building in. Bryson Blocker makes a ton of money doing Airbnb, and I do recommend you take his course or some course if you're going to get into Airbnb. I don't make a ton of money doing Airbnb. I don't make any money doing Airbnb. I do something where I rent websites to business owners. It's kind of more like a digital real estate thing, but I'll talk more about that later in the video. But I do have a link in my description if you want to jump forward and see what my business model is all about. But anyways, so Airbnb, it's a great business model, but I do recommend you take some course on how to do it properly, because there's so much to learn that you're going to have some very expensive upfront mistakes if you're not following somebody's charted out path, right? You could go ahead, anybody could learn anything on their own, but you could learn to be a rocket scientist on your own, but it's going to take a lot longer for you to see a return on your trial and errors and a mixed matching of different strategies to come up with your own eventually, which you could do. It'll just take a long time. I've always enjoyed courses to learn new skills because somebody sets you out a clear breakdown of their strategy for success, and you follow in their footsteps, and you could modify later on once you get more advanced. But Bryson Blocker's course, lots of good responses from it. He makes a ton of money doing Airbnb, so I would recommend you follow a pro like him, unless you vibe more with somebody else. There are two things I always tell people when they're looking for a course, because I've purchased over like $50,000 to $100,000 of courses in my time, and I've learned what to look out for. Number one, what you're going to want to look out for is you want to make sure that you watch the course creators' videos on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram before you purchase, because you want to make sure that they're a teacher that explains these concepts in a way that you comprehend and understand. Because if you're not vibing with that instructor, you're just going to spend 50 hours watching their material and not learn anything. So there are a million people teaching Airbnb out there. Find somebody that you actually teaches in a way that you comprehend. Number two, you want to make sure they have some sort of online community, whether it's on Facebook or Discord, because you're going to have tons of questions along the way, and you're going to want to get them answered quickly. And the course creator is not going to be available all the time to answer them. But those are the main things you want to look out for. I'll tell you a little bit about what I do, because you're probably here because you're looking for a way to make money passively. And, I'm going to present another option to you that you maybe haven't heard of. It's called digital real estate, or renting websites to business owners, basically. And you might be a little confused about how that works. So basically, I build websites, like 1 to 5 page websites for different niches, like towing. And I put them in a city called maybe Pittsburgh, right? So I'll build a website called towingpittsburgh.com, for example. And I'll do some SEO on it, get it ranking on page 1, so that anytime somebody searches for towing services in Pittsburgh, my website shows up, right? That takes about 1 to 3 months, depending on the competition level in the city, right? So once that website's ranking on page 1 after about 1 to 3 months, people start finding my website and calling the phone number I have on it. I have a little tracking phone number on that website, so I can control where those calls are routed to. Right? Very easy. I just go into this software called CallRail, put in the phone number I want it to route to, and boom. At first, I have those calls going to my voicemail. But while they're going to my voicemail, I'm calling up towing companies in Pittsburgh and asking them if they'd be open to trying out my leads for a week. And all the calls that are coming in through my website. So if they agree to the trial, I hook them up for 7 days. After the 7 days, I call them up. I'm like, hey, you close any jobs? And if they're like, yeah, we closed like 5 to 10 jobs, how do we keep this going? I work out a deal with them from anywhere from $750 flat a month to $2,000 a month flat, based on the call volume that the website's getting. And then once I get their credit card information, it's mostly passive after that, because I've done the work of building the website, ranking it, and now the website just sits there. phone calls start flowing through, and I'm just running their credit card every month to take all the calls that come through my website. Sure, if you scale up to maybe 20 plus clients like I have like maybe 80 clients now, it becomes a bit more work because you're constantly having people reach out to you with questions, and you're having to run a lot of credit cards, and you have credit cards that decline. But I'm not complaining, I promise you. But I'm not going to go too much more about my business model, but if you do want to learn more about it, I do have my email in the description. You can shoot me an email with any questions you have about it. And also, I have a link to a landing page with a bunch of videos that break down how the business model works and if it intrigues you. This has been a review of Bryson Blocker's Airbnb Breakdown Academy. If you do want to pursue Airbnb, I would recommend Bryson Blocker. He's got a great reputation, and good luck out there.